One Datacron to rule them all. One Datacron to find them. One Datacron to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. It's not as epic as Ring. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Today, let's talk about Datacron Set 13. There are so many crons that we're probably going to need, and some of them are crazy, crazy strong. So, go check out my infographic. I put this out every time right before Conquest. You guys can know it's kind of a map of what you are going to need. We'll zoom in just a little bit. Sorry, you can't even see my face. I apologize. But you can see that I have the groups of must-haves, the groups of which characters prefer set 12, and then just a list of the different stats and things. I have some notes about it, about the stats. Go check it out, guys. It's on my Discord server in the infographics section, and it's free. You guys can go bring it to your guild or whatever, and you know, but let's talk about this set. It's interesting, it's cool, it's hip. You know, as Dr. Evil would say. I did put out a video showing the use of 3 of those stronger Datacrons. I put that out yesterday, so go check out that video. I'll try to link it in the video description, just in case. And otherwise, folks, huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all of your support, guys. Truly appreciate every single one of you. And if you want to support this channel for free, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, comment, mount the algorithm, guys. I spent hours making that infographic. The least you could do is mount the algorithm for a video that will get very few views compared to how much time I spent on working on that. That being said, let's get to the discussion of this set. There's only 3 factions, but man, they're very robust factions. This is going to be an extremely important set. Set 12 was not that important. That's the purple set that we still have. That's not going to dust automatically. This the purple one though is just for a few specific teams. It was a specialized set, a specialist set, I should say. This one touches so many different teams. I couldn't even fit all of them onto the infographic. I really had to struggle. The thing, let's talk about the stats on it first. The stats are interesting in the sense that deflection and resistance are both part of it, and both of them have to deal with messing with people who deal special damage. Now, I've had a few people ask me, how can you tell if someone does special damage versus physical damage? Do they have a certain lightsaber size or color, or is it only blasters who do special damage? And honestly, a lot of you know the answer to this, but I'm just gonna show you real quick. Let's go to the game. I'll show you. Whoa, we're in the game madness, crazy. Okay, so it's as simple as, all right, it just says physical damage here, folks. That's it. You see on the very top where it says deal physical damage. You can't see my mouse, there we go. Physical damage. So Ray does physical damage. There's also true damage, which you can see here. Usually true damage doesn't actually define it. This one does. Ignores defense. So Ray's ult deals true damage, which that means it can't crit, but it also ignores defense. That's a little bit different. That's not special or physical damage. Ray does, for the most part, she just does physical damage. Just because it's on her basic, however, doesn't mean that all of her damage is going to be physical damage. Now, take Ben Solo, for instance. He does special damage. So you can see on his basic, he does it. On his special, he does it. On this special, he does special damage as well. It's a very special type of damage, folks. You wouldn't understand the kind of specialness that's involved. So that's basically it, guys. This set, resistance is just armor against special damage. deflection is dodge against special damage. And yeah, there's stats you should probably work on, but it's going to be tough to isolate that much and that much stuff. And for the most part, most characters do physical damage. And so just because you can dodge the special damage doesn't mean you're going to be able to dodge anything else. I mean, yes, it's a good stat, and you'll see I've mostly listed a lot of deflection on as a preferred stat because it is going to mess with some people. There's a lot of characters out there who won't be able to really hit that well if you have a lot of deflection, but it's also not something. I feel like dodge is a much more effective and frustrating stat just because there's so many more characters who do physical damage. Now, potency and tenacity are also pretty strong depending on which characters are using them. Like General Grievous probably really enjoys himself some potency. Crit damage percent, it's not that great. So the real point though, folks, is the mechanics on this set. And I haven't been able to tell you, I've had pretty bad RNG, but the level 3s for this set are pretty dang good, folks. At least the two that I've kind of outlined and shown. The protection up one for light side and the doubt for dark side, I haven't been able to roll them very much. I hope that they're not weighted against us. We know the CG does that sometimes, where they make certain stats or mechanics tougher to roll than others. They don't tell us which ones they are though, and my RNG has been really bad for it so far. I don't know, my sample size is small enough that I don't know if it's actually weighted against the other results or not, but if you can get a lot of these, that's going to dominate the meta in my opinion. It's really going to mess with people, and it's like, man, most teams are really going to want at least a level 3 with protection up or doubt mechanics, because it's going to mess with people. Doubt, you can find the rules for doubt on Darth Malgus' second special. They only ever list the rules for one mechanic or effect in one place ever, and it's kind of frustrating. Like Riposte is something that you can find on Dooku's kit, because he's the first one who had that special ability. Anyways, doubt just makes it so you can't gain buffs and you can't gain bonus turn meter, and the fact that you're handing them out at such a rapid rate is just, it's crazy. It really is. And it's the protection up is also really crazy. 50% protection up it's going to make characters so much more difficult to kill, even though we don't have a whole lot of, like, we don't have defense up or anything like a defense percentage stats. It's still going to be a huge challenge to be able to chew through all of these different characters. One thing that I should point out, folks, is that resistance, there's some crons that take your defense and turn it into offense, and the thing that you should keep in mind is resistance counts as defense in this case, and so you're going to want to boost your resistance up in the case of a lot of Empire teams, just because that resistance stat is used as a way to turn that number into your offense. You'll see what I'm talking about eventually. I don't even know if we'll go through that part in the video itself. So, go look at my infographic. I guess the stat for level 6 on Empire. Now, we have 3 different factions here, and there are just a ton of teams. Then they're extremely important and kind of just diverse. So I just wanted to point out, like, Lord Vader is here. I don't know if he's going to need if he's going to need Maul or not. In this case, like, he's going to have a crazy amount of offense because of what I was just talking about. He turns his defense into offense, and it's going to be crazy. The Imperial Remnants is going to be really crazy. Like, they're killing Galactic Legends, and that's not even just in Territory Wars with their Omicrons, it's in GAC. Really good mechanics. Inquisition are going to be able to hit so hard. Imperial Troopers were already good with the current Imperial Trooper Cron, and most of those same mechanics exist in the same place for this set. as well. So Imperial Troopers are going to stay approximately the same. A few mechanics are going to change. Starkiller is also, I mean, the two, Emperor Palpatine and Mara Jade are both Empire, so that's going to be impactful. And then the Mandalorians, I don't know if they're going to use Empire stuff or if they're going to use the Mandalorian crons, but I almost think that they're going to use the Empire ones, just because they're going to be hitting so much harder. I guess we'll see. Mandalorians impact a few fewer things, like, and honestly, keep in mind, folks, if you get the cron for Mandalorian, the bounty hunter Mandalorian, it's gonna mess with your clocking if you're trying to space things out so that, you know, boss gets a turn, Grief gets a turn, boss gets another turn, and then you get your contract, and then Mando goes. If you do it that way, normally, you're going to have it all messed up with the current Datacron because he gets all this turn meter. I would almost just recommend sticking with set 12, to be honest. But one of the most broken crons ever to be created by CG is in this set. And we have the Bo-Katan one. It just kills so much stuff. I don't even know what to say, guys. It is truly impressive. The Bando one is also really good. Beskar Mando, he's able to compound all of his damage if he gets a lot of Whistling Birds, and you can find a lot of footage of me using that team in on that video that I linked previously. So go check that out, guys. It's a really good team. And then, of course, the Maul Mandalorians, gonna be pretty good if we choose to use them. I have Krennic here as one of the characters. I don't know if he's gonna be in there, guys. I don't know if we want to use Jango or not. We'll just have to see. Stay tuned for my 3v3 video. That'll be coming out probably a week from now, approximately. And then we also have the Rebel Fighters, also known as the Peasant Rebels, because some Rebels are just too good to have the Rebel Fighter tag. They're like, no, you guys are a stenchy lot, and I don't want anything to do with you. And that's Mon Mothma. And unfortunately, there's a couple, like two of the best crons in this set are for Chirrut and Bodhi. And both of those are if you have a Rebel Fighter leader, which means you can't use the Chirrut one or the Bodhi one with Mon Mothma. You could use it with like Wedge. You could use it with, I guess, Lando. There's a couple of them. Jin could be the leader for him, but like Admiral Raddus isn't one of them. He has a lot of Rebel Fighters on his team, but he's a little too fancy to be considered a peasant. He doesn't prefer that. So I guess that's fine. The Biggs one is crazy, guys. You can just get into an endless turn meter loop, and as long as the thing is you can't get out of it, and so if you get to the point where someone has damage immunity that you can't get rid of, you're just going to time yourself out. So you have to choose your team wisely, but eventually you get to the point where they can't take turns because you have a perfect turn meter loop. It's pretty crazy. Old Man Rex is also a Rebel Fighter. Lando is a really interesting one. He's a plug-and-play character because as long as he has his cron, he assists on every single turn that any of his allies make. It doesn't have to be Rebel Fighters, so that's pretty cool. Leia has a Rebel Fighter, sometimes two, in her group, so she's going to be using that cron because her cron is going the way of the Dodo. And the Saw one, I just don't know. Chirrut ramps crazy strong with Saw, but the Bodhi one reads really well as well. So we'll have to see which one is going to be better, and they're all just going to be really good. I'm pretty interested to see how all this works. Now, how to choose which ones you want to do? I mean, at the end of the day, Bo-Katan and Beskar Mando are really strong. The Remnants one with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon is crazy strong. Lord Vader would be the most overpowered one in the group, I think, except he's just gonna get destroyed by Bo-Katan. Like without any doubt, they wanted him to just be destroyed by Bo. And so if you're in a meta, if you're in a situation where you can place Lord Vader and have a good Datacron for him, but you're not facing a lot of people who have Bo, then awesome. Good for you. Congratulations. That's awesome. if you're facing someone who has bow, I don't know why you would put yourself through that trauma of placing Lord Vader and getting just deleted, just summarily completely destroyed. Unfortunately, however, Lord Vader on his own, I'm guessing he's going to have enough offense to just ramp and destroy his foes on his just on his own without using Maul, because he starts with so much offense. That's just speculation on my part. I haven't been able to determine that yet, but it seems pretty good. You can find all the teams that I think are the most relevant on my infographic, like I said before. And I mean, the Imperials are dialed up to 11. The Mandalorians are pretty good. The Rebel fighters are all just going to be really strong utility. And they're all over the place, man. There's a ton of teams. You guys saw all those teams that I just listed. There's a ton. So just follow the infographic and you should be set. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this set in the video, in the comments. So let me know, guys. Hope this helps. Have fun in Conquest and Hell Week with Territory Battle and all that stuff. And all the fun content gone, because GAC has to take a break every 4 weeks, so I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.